Saving and investing absolutely changed our life, especially from 2020 to now 2025. In this video, we're going to give you a step-by-step breakdown of how and tell you some of the things that we're seeing in the market, some of the things we're seeing with Americans, with Westerners, that we do not find is prevalent as much amongst African people. So stay tuned. I was watching this video yesterday, and this white American guy, he was breaking down his six-figure salary. He's like a product designer. He makes 130,000 a year, and he was talking about how he lives paycheck to paycheck, okay? And so he breaks down what his spending is. He goes in depth. He's married, he has one child. I want to tell you that for context. Now, he breaks down all of his spending, and something absolutely sticks out. And this is how I know Americans are not necessarily broke or poor. Americans have extremely, extremely, extremely poor spending habits. We used to be like that too, till we moved to Africa and got in our right mind. This guy, he broke down his spending in a particular category. Groceries was fine. I wasn't even worried about that. Fine. Spend your $1,500, your $2,000 on groceries. But he proceeds to say they spend $1,200, $1,200 per month on going out to restaurants. I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, no, why would you do that? 1,200. You could have put that in stocks. You could have saved. You could have invested in running your side hustle, your business to get it to be your main hustle. Why are you spending $1,200 on restaurants? Mind you, he already said he spent 1,500 to 2,000 a month on groceries. So this additional expense of 1,200. Now we spend about 300 to 400 on spending out on food in Southeastern Africa at most per month. And we be looking at that like, dang, we need to get this down so we can invest and invest and save and save. But I was just mind blown at that. And this guy, again, $130,000 per year, one child. The spending just did not make sense. And so this further shows us as people, Americans who now live in Africa, return to the land of our ancestors. American people, Westerners have money. American Westerners are not necessarily broke, but they have poor, horrible spending habits. Because I can guarantee if he continues on that trajectory, look at you. And if you're not like looking at your bills every month and your spending habits, I'm not sure what you're doing. But he broke that down. If he continues on that trajectory of spending $1,200 every single month on restaurants and does not get that down to at least 600 a month, he will be broke and will continue to live paycheck to paycheck. He's living paycheck to paycheck because he does not have a high yield savings account. He's not investing in stocks. He's not running a business. He's depending on a W 2 employer. He's one paycheck away from a budget cut and being out on the streets. I just wanted to put that in perspective.
Yeah, that's crazy to hear. Like you once you told me that, I was like, man, that is a lot. And it's crazy because we used to think like that also. We needed the convenience. It was just so right at our fingertips. We can just get it and we be good. We wasn't being accountable to what we spend. So you got to think, why is your bank account has a account number and a routing number, right? You kind of got to pay attention to that account. You have to account for your funds. You have to make sure, hey, what am I spending extra a month? And I'm glad that we moved here to Africa because that really helped us sacrifice and made us realize, we really don't need all this stuff. We don't. It's just really stuff. Like you really have to think about what is very important to you and your household. What can you live without? Like you really got to start thinking like that in these last days because if you're just spending and not paying attention to what you're spending, it's going to be a long year. It's going to be a long couple of weeks. It's going to be a long couple of months. I tell you that. So you always got to account for what you're spending. You really have to sacrifice, and when you sacrifice certain things, that's when growth comes. Because just from a biblical standpoint, when you sacrifice, the Most High sees that you're giving up something that you're used to. You're giving up something that is so convenient to you that you're pretty much putting like an idol, put it like that. And once you sacrifice that idol, once you just get rid of that mindset of, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, that's when the growth will come. That's when, you know, what you're asking the Most High for, you know, your righteous desires to come right at your front door. And that is the thing that people really need to realize, especially in 2025. You have to sacrifice to get to the next level.
I'm so glad that you're talking about how sacrifice and accountability is necessary. Like, and I want to break this down from a logical perspective, giving a bit of our story and our testimony. In 2019, 2020, we didn't have this mindset, but we did know that we were willing to sacrifice to move to the land of our ancestors and to be digital nomads, to become traveling entrepreneurs, which means our mindset logically, we were like, okay, so I have to be accountable for this outcome. Yes, the Most High has given it to me. Yes, He's put it in my hands. Yes, I have faith, but now I have to be accountable to the outcome of the vision that the Most High is given, because the Most High is a spirit and He moves in the spirit. But we are vessels that move on the earth in the physical, which means I'm accountable in the physical to do my part to make sure that that dream, that that vision comes to fruition. So what we did, we started investing in business courses. We invested in our messaging, in our website, in consulting. We continuously invest in our business. We are always willing to sacrifice just so our savings, our investing in our businesses can go forward, because we're not going to live a life where we're dependent on convenience and Wendy's and McDonald's and Red Lobster and Disneyland, and then come back and complain 2 months later, like, oh my gosh, how are people not surviving in America? And people aren't surviving because they have no self-control. It goes back to that case study of that guy we were just talking about. Like, I'm still mind boggled. 6 figures, 130,000. And what is he doing with it? What are they doing with it? They're squander. How are you living paycheck to paycheck when your money is flying away from your hands? That's the spirit of poverty. America has such a spirit of debt and poverty. And unless you're willing to break those ties and sacrifice to understand how people live outside of America, like my husband said, 2025 is going to be a very difficult year. 2025 is going to be a very strange year, a very much a wake up call where you look back at those bank statements. And this is why, if you're someone that's not looking at your bank statements, you don't have a high yield savings account, you're not investing in stocks or crypto, you're not running a business, and you're just depending on a W 2 employer, you're going to look back in the next 12 months and you're going to have to be accountable for the decisions that you chose to make today after viewing this video. This video should be a type of wake up call for you this year to say, okay, what do I need to sacrifice? Maybe I don't need to go to Disneyland. Maybe I don't need to squander lots of money at a concert. Maybe I can invest in my business and mentorship. Maybe I can put that money to the stocks, but before you put it in the stocks, you better know how the stocks move. You better know how to read the charts, right? This is why the Bible says that wisdom is to be wanted far above rubies, far above gold. Wisdom and all that getting understanding. That's what you need to be praying for right now. That's what you need to be looking out for, to get knowledge, to get understanding that is going to line you up so that you can move as the Josephs and Danielles in this time again. Joseph was able to help the greatest kingdom on earth, Egypt, save in the 7 good years, invest in these 7 good years of increase. They didn't go to Egypt's Disneyland. He said, we need to save this for the 7 years of drought. And it comes back to the parable of the 10 wise virgins. 5 wise, 5 foolish, the 10 virgins. 5 are going to be wise in this time and this year. They're going to see this. They're going to take it. They're going to run with it. They're going to sacrifice. They're going to kill their flesh, and they're going to do what needs to be done to pivot, transition, whatever needs to be done. And they're going to live their best life in Africa or wherever they want to live. And then the other 5, the other 50% of people are going to be foolish, and they're going to come to the wise and say, hey, you got all this oil, you was saving, you was doing all this stuff. I need some of yours. And guess what? The folks are going to say, just like the 5 wise virgins said, they're going to say, no, I have to go in to meet the master. I just have enough for me and my family. Thank you very much. I need to go into the dining room to meet with the master. I got to go now. I don't have time to squander everything for you because you did not do the due diligence. So do the due diligence to make sure that you are going to eat in a famine. The Most High has already done his part. He already has Psalms written for you, talking about how you're going to eat in a famine, how the righteous will lack no good thing. But your part, you need to take the action steps to make sure that that manifests in the physical by being obedient to the command.
Yeah, a couple things that my wife was saying about some Wendy's, McDonald's, and stuff. My thing was Panda Express. So every time she talking about some Wendy's, McDonald's, I'm like, yeah, right. My thing was Panda Express. That was a big sacrifice for me. Like say, I used to go to the gym. After the gym, I go to Panda Express. I get that three entree, the extra rice and beef chow mein. Man, that was a big sacrifice. But my mindset shifted in a way. I'm like, okay, just imagine if whatever I spend on that Panda Express, right? If I put it into an investment such as stocks, such as crypto, such as forex or something like that, that could really help us gain and really be accountable of our finances, right? So another thing my wife was just talking about was the five foolish and the five wise, right? So you have to be the five wise. You have to be accountable for your finances. You have to see, hey, where is there a leak? So if you have a cup and you have oil in it and that oil just keeps leaking at the bottom, go fix that patch. Go fix the patch right there and just keep filling up that oil so it won't leak anymore. And then, like she was saying about the five foolish, they're gonna come to you like, hey, how did you fix that? At that time, it's not gonna be time to turn back and say, hey, I can help you over here. You see this hole at the bottom of your cup is leaking right there, and that's why you're running out of oil, because you haven't examined, you haven't analyzed your finances. You wasn't being responsible. You wasn't looking at your finances month to month, week to week, to see what's going on in the finance in your finance world. So it's really coming down to that time where fix that hole so your oil will not run out, and it's not time to try to help somebody else, because look, the door, he's at the door knocking. I tell you that the Most High, Yahushua Mashiach, he's at the door knocking. And are you going to let him in, or are you just going to be the five foolish virgins still trying to fix the hoe at the last minute? So you really got to think. You really got to think what's going on right now. And I hope this video really left some seeds in the people that is watching. I hope this video really help people spark a account of being responsible with your finances, because we will say make sure you invest in your future. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy your day, enjoy your afternoon, enjoy your evening. Shalom, shalom.